Buonasera. It's a Too Much Dip podcast. My name is Dave. I'm here to do one thing and one thing only, and that is podcast. Joining me in studio producing Randy Trimbacki.
Hi, Dave.
You sure this mic's not up a little high?
You know what? It is a little bit higher than usual, but it's because when we do Coffee Friday, I don't have the luxury of doing post editing and bumping it. So I need to just try and do it for future Coffee Fridays.
Is this his own mic we're talking about?
Yeah.
He wants to be just a bigger player on the show.
No. It's just if you go back to Coffee Friday, and what you should at circling back on YouTube, you'll notice that my mic is a little bit lower than everyone else's, and it's just kind of
That was by design.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, it's just trying to match levels, trying to be a good producer.
Yeah, little bud.
You're coming in a little grainy.
Oh, God, go back to Europe.
Go back to Deutschland.
Yeah.
Dutchland.
Again, that's Germany.
He's in Dutchland.
You said they're basically the same.
They're neighbors.
They sound the same.
They share a border. That is true.
Yeah, so did Poland, and we know how that went out. I'm Polish. I can make that joke.
A lot of World War II history in Amsterdam, turns out. None of which is particularly positive in nature.
Oh, that guy, that history buff is Dylan Shivery.
Man, am I excited to be back talking ball with you ball knowers after my jaunt across the pond. Yeah, I'm happy to be back, man. I missed it. I missed talking ball with y'all for real. Lot to get into. It's a crazy time of year for the sports, man.
Things are happening. Things are moving quickly.
Am I on very little sleep? Yeah. I've been hitting all the time zones, man. I'm back, baby.
Bro, you got to just look up the 3 best ways to cure jet lag. And I bet you'll find some answers.
3 best ways to cure jet. Okay, I will.
Hint, one of them is Adderall.
Is that for real?
I don't know. I've never taken Adderall after jet lag.
I don't think I want to do that.
It would probably help.
Stay hydrated is one of them. Avoid long naps. Drink water.
Doesn't 1 and 3 seem very similar?
Melatonin. It's weird. I went to bed at a decent time last night, like 10:30. But I just couldn't sleep, man. It was fucked up.
Yeah, I get it, man. You're just around all that history.
We'll get there.
Now you're back here, and the Trudeau's about to resign. Shit's going down.
Is he?
I think I saw that. I don't really know what happened there. I was looking for context, but no one could give it to me. Maybe this guy can help. Here's a guy in Wisconsin. It's KJ.
Thank you, David. Welcome back, Dylan. As I mentioned
Thank
before, absolutely goated performance just by being here. So, starting with a little head start in the ratings today. Quick aside, and in no way intended to be like somber, but I did want to acknowledge, wildly depressing and unfortunate stuff going on here in the Madison, Wisconsin area. Thank you to, I'd say probably half dozen or so people who shot me a message or shot a text and were like confirming that's not where my kids went to school or that we live directly. And it's not. We're probably 10, 15 miles away from here. So yeah, just, tough day in that regard. But still happy to be able to do this. Happy to be here with both of you. Good gentlemen.
Yeah, we'll co-sign.
Indeed.
Co-sign that very sad situation.
From there, I'd like to. No, you texted about it earlier, and we were so dialed on circling back. I feel like we had a long show today, and I completely missed.
I figured y'all were in the stew, but as I am one to do, I over pontificate. But nevertheless, I was really just trying to poke thoughts at everyone's opinion on Ashton Jonty getting overlooked in the Heisman, but y'all had no time for that discussion.
Jonty? Are we doing Jonty?
As somebody whose name is Kajan, anybody with a Jean gets hit with a Jean.
Okay.
Don't care. I'm taking it back so that people stop mispronouncing my name. They've got to come meet me in the middle.
Jaunty.
All right.
I don't really know. I was saying Genty. I feel like that's the. Oh, okay.
I think that's correct. I think
that's how we say it up Frisco way.
Exactly.
It's that Frisco slang that just was created in the last 20 years. Since Now it has 15 high schools and whatnot. Hey, dude, I got some freaking Heisman takes. I'm fucking pissed. You think it's funny, Randy? You think that's funny? No, we'll get to that in a minute. Hey, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/toomuchdip. Also, subscribe to that and rate and review the pod if you haven't already. 5 stars only. Also, if you're a Rowback guy, Dylan, you'll see he's wearing a Rowback hoodie. That is the lighter one. That is not the one they just sent us. This is more of like the tech workout.
The same exact tech material that you'll find in their like workout tees. It's
Yes.
very lightweight. It's very comfortable, and it is good for even warm-ish weather, which is what I'm enjoying it in right now.
Probably good on a plane too.
Probably great on
Very
a plane.
comfy.
Very cozy.
Loaded travel wear.
Use code WASHED20 for 20% off at Rowback. That's a one-time use code. So load that card up, Hoss. Load that card up, Hoss, and get you some gifts for the people in life that you love, or the people you just kind of like and have to buy a gift for. We've all been there. Let's just jump right into college football. The aforementioned Heisman Trophy. A lot of bots real mad online. What's going on?
That's really the only thing that I wanted to do here is the immediate uproar.
Dude, it's China or Russia or a combo of the two.
It just was so unnecessary. I enjoyed the past years when we were all like, who cares? It's the Heisman. And I don't know if it's the Prime Storm or whatever idiots in ESPN or whatever talking head that floated the idea that the anti-Deion Sanders sentiment might affect Travis Hunter's Heisman voting outcomes. I didn't care what happened. Didn't care. I appreciate what both players did on the season. To a certain extent, think it's kind of a bummer that Cam Ward's year kind of got swept under the rug all because they lost a second game. Not that he would have won, but it was an afterthought, really.
Yeah, and he almost got rug pulled,
don't care.
Hawk Tua style.
Okay.
What, Dylan?
I'm just updating running back, okay?
He's like,
Hawk
I've got
Tua
4
style.
hours of sleep in my body, and I've already had to start keeping up with running back.
Dylan wasn't there for the great rug pull of 2024.
I was here.
Okay, Dylan was here for the great rug pull of 2024.
I recorded last Monday, if you guys will recall, and I believe that's when we talked about it.
Spit on that thing.
Not too much dip, KJ. I recorded circling back last Monday.
Okay.
But still.
Either way, I was not. You could have told me you recorded too much dip, and I would not have been able to bet against you.
Yeah. Look, we had 2 deserving candidates here. Jaunty, other years would have won. Had insane numbers, had an insane season. Travis Hunter is a very unique athlete, unique football player who also, in my opinion, was very deserving.
Scouts will tell you he's one of the best football players they've ever scouted.
So one of them could win. That's it.
Yeah.
You can't do a co-Heisman. So naturally, some people are going to be upset that their guy didn't win. Doesn't mean he's not deserving of it, because he absolutely was.
I just like that the bots, that the grand strategy of sowing a divide in the country has hit the Heisman, hit college football. Because you just look, you're like, yeah, there's some actual people that are upset, and it's the usual suspects. But then also it's man, what are all these accounts with a bunch of numbers in their name, anon accounts? Why are they so mad? Oh, that's right. We got to tear at the fabric of the country. But yeah, I really have no issue. I would have been fine either way. I do. One thing I like about Jaunty, in addition to him being very, very good and a DFW high school football phenomenon, is that he still rides for himself. I like that I like how he answered questions where he would just be like, yeah, I should have won, and this is why. I respect that. I respect that he sticks up for himself and is pretty confident. And I expect him to do things at the next level, things like play football at a high level, those type of things.
Only tinfoil thing to add to it is I enjoy the Heisman House commercial series. I enjoy the Dr. Pepper Fansville commercial series only because they both limit them to a 3-month run. They cycle through 4 different commercials in that time period. and they move on. They get out of the way. I appreciate that. And you got to believe somebody was ComScoring this saying like, hey, I'm just shoehorning in ComScore. I don't think it applies. Like maybe Q-score, whatever. Somebody was saying like, we'd much rather have Travis Hunter in the Heisman House commercials for the next decade than Genty. There's no question that came up.
Yeah. I think that's for me, that's where the Heisman race should start and end. Like who's gonna fit in with these dudes in the house? Like
doing hijinks with Tim Tebow.
Yeah, like who's RG3 gonna be like, doing his bits with?
Yeah, that's Travis Hunter does have a pretty big personality. He's gonna fit in well.
Do you like Lil Wayne?
I was just really confused about that, especially since during his speech he admitted that he's not even a Lil Wayne fan, like didn't even know his music. I'm not really sure why he was there. Anybody?
Let's just take that same template, and I don't know.
Not only was he there, he was like featured. Like he was sitting next to him, and
he spoke about him at length.
He spoke about him. He's like, "Yeah, my girlfriend or my fiance got me turned on to your music." Okay. What else? What else? Did he help raise you? I'm just confused.
What if his fiance was just kind of into like Faith Hill?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
But he's really.
I don't know. Is Jelly Roll sitting there front row? If that's just kind of her vibe, like
I think if she was there and like he was really nervous, she would just be like, "Just breathe."
That's good.
There we go.
I love Wheezy. Don't get me wrong.
No ceilings, mother effer. Good morning.
Yep.
D in your mouth while you're yawning. I'm gone in.
Yep.
Very good, Dave. That was amazing.
No ceilings.
Yeah, it's good, man.
None of them.
We have another episode this year. Like you don't have to try to feel like you're going out on a high note for the year.
That's fine.
Do we have another episode this year?
Are you sure about that?
You sure about that?
Actually,
We're out
maybe we
next
don't.
week.
Who knows?
You sure about
TBDs.
that?
Sure about that?
TBDs. Now that I'm thinking about how this plays out, maybe. Anyways, I came here just to compliment like David's kids' eyebrows. I don't know if you've seen both his kids' eyebrows, like the most phenomenally perfect and like emotive eyebrows. So shouts to you for having a 1-year-old. Anyways,
Really?
that was my thought. That was my thought today.
He gets the
Just good looking kids.
Sammy boy gets the eyelash gas up from the ladies, but the eyebrows.
Whatever.
I always was self-conscious about my eyebrows. I get a little bit of the mom genetics there. Not that my mom has thick eyebrows, but that side of the family, they come from the boot. It's like you kind of get a little bit thicker than some. And now look at. Anyway, that's a first. I can't wait. Let's call Alyssa right now.
Anyhow,
You want to talk ball?
let's actually talk these
Let's
games.
talk a little ball.
Randy
Randy
informed us earlier with his Indiana knowledge that the state of Indiana is real pumped for the game on Friday between the Hoosiers and the Fighting Irish.
Oh,
Yeah.
What's our level of interest and care in the outcome of this? I have no idea who they play. If they win, I'll pull up the bracket. But like outside of round 2, like how much do you care about this game individually?
ooh, of the 4 this weekend,
Mhm.
this one has the least amount of intrigue, which isn't fair because I just kind of expect Notre Dame to roll, and this not to be close. But I would love to be surprised, and it's a Friday night, John, so it's kind of that's nice. Give you something to do, stay in, have a glass of wine, maybe pop an early bird.
I do like that there's a Friday night game.
Me too.
This is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really fun weekend of football. Home playoff games, Davey? You kidding me? You seeing this?
Pretty cool.
Georgia gets the winner of this game. To fill you in there.
Oh, damn.
That would be on the other side of, or not the other side, but Georgia being the 2 seed. The other head-to-head game on that same side of the bracket. First game Saturday. SMU at Penn State. 11 o'clock Central, noon Eastern. Your boy will be there in the building. And what I've come to learn is the world's largest erector set. Stadium made completely of steel. A stadium that's apparently undergoing like 3 or 4 years of renovations. One where like I've been advised like bring a piece of cardboard as the bleacher seats are like unbearably cold to sit on. And one where they're going to be doing a whiteout at noon.
Dylan.
In addition to playing the game.
Oh, stop it, David. Grow up, man.
It's just a big Diddy party. Or no, wait, who's the fucker that we always make fun of?
Catch it. That's gonna be fun.
Michael
That's gonna be
Cohen.
fun, man.
Or not Michael Cohen.
Michael
Not Michael
Cohen.
Cohen.
Michael Rubin.
Reuben.
You're close.
KJ,
Michael Cohen's Trump's old lawyer.
I'd
who
be really
flipped on
excited
him.
Yes,
if I
I
were
know.
you about this game, dude.
He's going
Which
solo.
This is gonna be awesome.
Do you know he's going solo?
I didn't know he was going solo like Jason Derulo. I didn't realize that.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, logistically, this is an absolute nightmare. And I don't think the other 3 games will have this problem because Notre Dame's an hour and a half to 2 hours from Chicago, and there are reasonably populated cities around it. Some, the home of Randy, actually have like hotels, although, better than nothing. Columbus, Austin, easy to get in and out of. Big cities, lots of places to stay, built for large events like this. Penn State obviously hosts 110,000 people 6 to 7 times a year. So like logistically they can handle it. The things that I don't think this calendar and everything was built to expect is this is after like exams. So students are no longer on campus. Like dorms are closed. People, have to go home or leave their dorms. Maybe they've extended the stay. I have no idea, but I doubt it. It's winter commencement or like graduation for Penn State. So you've got all the people trying to get in for that, plus people leaving for winter break, obviously holiday weekend. And something I didn't know when I like bought my ticket to the game, committed to going to the game, is State College, Pennsylvania is like College Station. Like 3 hours from everything. College Station is a little bit closer to Houston than State College is to anything. Harrisburg's your closest town. So like there is an airport there, but flights into Harrisburg, $1,700, $1,500 on average. Philly, DC, New York, Pittsburgh. Hell, I looked at like Buffalo and Rochester. Everything's like 3.5 to 4 hours away. You're still looking at about $1,000. Luckily your boy is absolutely just flush with travel credits. After my Montana or my Idaho trip this year kind of got effed up on the way back. So like I was sweating bullets like, what the fuck am I going to do? I kind of need to finish buying Christmas presents, but I also really want to go to this game. And I go to check out and I'm like, oh shit, this price just dropped by like 90%. This is awesome. So like I'm getting to the game and in the game for like under like flights, hotels, rental car, everything like under $400. Tickets, everything, which is insane.
Oh, that's
to
badass.
consider. Like that's less than a ticket just to go to the UT game.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
So I'm excited about it. I'm going solo. Granted, there will be other SMU people there, and the other thing I want to add is how this all works logistically. So like same for UT probably. Visiting teams for these games get 3,500 tickets, including band. So then like the visitors like have to allocate those based on however they want, which of course goes like by booster contribution or Mustang Club points in the SMU case. So while I had initially purchased a ticket that route, when it came down to like actually dish out the ticket, they're like, here's the thing. We know your name's in real small font on a small brick somewhere out there on campus, but you're behind like 5,000 people who've actually given us money over the years. You're not getting a ticket anywhere near the field. So I said, fuck it. It's okay. Hopped on Ticketmaster. It was cheaper or whatever, wherever I bought tickets.
Oh, nice.
Whatever. Ended up being cheaper than what I was paying for it straight up because college football playoffs set the ticket ranges from $100 to $200. And I got mine for less than that because, again, 110,000 stadium capacity, 3,500 of those go to SMU. All those others go to Penn State. And I already mentioned to you all the reasons why like people might not be there like a normal game.
Yeah.
The amount of tickets available to this game, like you can hop on and get a ticket for like $75 now.
So
I'm going to be like 5 rows from the field.
Are you sitting among Penn State fans? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
In the middle of a whiteout. So my question to you fellas after that long-winded story is, I got to go all red, right? Like I've got to go high contrast.
Yeah.
Granted, I will be, but
The brightest red that you have.
Okay.
I can't go blue. Like that's just too. I
Yeah,
think
go
that's
bright
too
red.
walking the line.
Um,
Here's me.
Yeah, I
On
think
TNT for some reason Saturday at noon.
You should have your headphones on just like that too. That'd be so sick. That's a good looking hat.
Oh, it's going with me for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you need to. And I think you also should wear your old jersey.
Maybe pull the real move that kind of gives people pause, but probably also draws attention. Like when I went to Notre Dame, there was a guy dog cussing Riley Leonard right behind me, and 2 rows in front of me was somebody with a Riley Leonard jersey, and she seemed to be about the age that Riley Leonard's mom might be.
Yeah.
And beside her was a younger woman in a Riley Leonard jersey. Maybe I should just wear a current player's jersey and just like give off the vibe that I'm like somebody's potential dad to uncle. So like you could talk shit to family of a player, but like there's still like that line I think of you're not going to fight family member of a player unless it's like Ja Morant's dad, which you don't want to do that.
Yeah,
but still.
You should wear a Preston Stone jersey.
Like with a button and everything.
Yeah. Really throw them off.
See if I can get, again, this game's on TNT and Max for whatever reason. Maybe I can get like Charles Barkley. Like they see him warming up on the sideline. They cue to the family shot, or so they think. And it's
on Max?
It's just me. I don't know. I have no idea who's calling it. I don't know why, but it's TNT. The secondary channel is Max. So
As in HBO? That Max?
as in
Wow.
the aforementioned Real Sex. I know that wasn't on
Didn't
air, but
know
still.
that they
It's a very dated reference.
broadcasted
either.
sports at all.
Okay.
No idea.
Interesting.
Maybe we're getting the Gumble brother.
How-
Whichever one's on whatever.
Bryant Gumbel of Real Sports fame. How are we feeling about the game itself? I mean, we didn't really, we definitely.
You see that whole smoke screen? I didn't have to talk about like
Yeah,
predicted performance.
You've got a
at all.
little, yeah. It seems like you're delaying. I mean, like,
Here's my state of mind. I'll give you a direct answer and a long-winded one quickly if I can. I've spent a good hour each night watching YouTube podcasts of people who just follow Penn State and their predictions of the game, and going right up to the line of like hopping in the comments, talking shit and rebuttal to all the shit they're saying.
are they taking SMU lightly?
They think it's a joke. And they're going with all the low-hanging fruit, like, oh, this team is an AAC team, and they're not ready for this, that, and the other. But it's weird because then they say, like, they're built with all these transfers. So I'm like, which is it? Is it a bunch of linemen from other big schools, or is it a small school who's just not ready for the moment? Whatever, don't give a fuck. We're 8.5-point dogs. Assuming we do not start off like Clemson, I think SMU is in a position to do something great. If I was betting, I'd say we're not going to embarrass ourselves and it's not going to be a claw back into it experience. A close one, but their run game is legit. They have a pass rusher who's first team All-American. The other first team All-American DN is at Boston College. We played him, beat the piss out of them. So it's nothing new. And their receivers aren't good, but you know, it's a big game. It's on the road. So, I'd say if I was betting, I'd put the line at 3 for Penn State.
I like
But
it.
I will also talk shit the whole game
Yes.
confidently.
I like
So-
SMU's chances more than I like the game we just really didn't even talk about. Indiana.
Yeah.
As far as pulling an upset goes, and that, yes, a lot of that's biased because like I've watched more SMU, but also the one time Indiana got like the one team they played, like they got
Ohio State.
absolutely wrecked. So Randy nods,
IU sucks.
and I think this is going to be. I'm looking at their schedule. Is this not like the best? I feel like Kevin Jennings is the best quarterback they faced.
I mean, they just played Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan
and
Gabriel.
That's the weird thing is
withstanding.
like everybody's only paying attention to these conference title games, which is understandable. But this is a game you've got 2 weeks to prepare for, and a little bit more like akin to like what you're going to get during the regular season.
let me say.
And
Go ahead, KJ. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
no, I'm sorry. I've been talking that, but I think it's going to be. They've let terrible teams stick around. Go back and look at what they did with Wisconsin. Go back and look what they did with Bowling Green. Go back and look what they did on anybody who wasn't Washington or Maryland, basically. And it was a close game when it shouldn't have been. SMU in a close game is not good for Penn State. Just going to say that. It's not good for Penn State at all. Because the longer that confidence hangs around, there's no question it's all SMU.
You're right. Dylan Gabriel, obviously the better quarterback at this point, but I feel like he poses a much different threat, Kevin Jennings, given that he is young and he is a little bit wild ass, and he's just he's a great athlete and rolling out of the pocket. He's dangerous. It's going to be fun, I think. And I think I would definitely take SMU with the points.
It's a pretty big line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spread.
All of them are this weekend. All of them are big. And I just don't see 4 blowouts happening. Speaking of which, the biggest of this weekend, Clemson goes to Austin.
Yeah. Big one. A lot of local storylines are in play here. Obviously, Cade Klubnik, Westlake High School grad. He's got a couple teammates over on the Texas side of things. On top of that, but Klubnik and Ewers played each other in the state championship game. Klubnik won that. Interestingly, Quinn Ewers in that game was picked off by Michael Taff, Texas safety, for Westlake. Also Andrew Makuba, who's a safety for Texas, transferred over from Clemson last season. So who's an Austin guy, by the way. A lot of local storylines, national storylines.
Both of those teams will be competing for a state title this Saturday.
Is that right?
South Lake Carroll will be playing Vandergrift up North Austin way.
Is it already state title time?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And Westlake will be playing North Crowley, who took down my Duncanville Panthers on Saturday in what is being called one of the best games ever. I thought it was a really good game. I've seen many better, and it was actually kind of ugly given how North Crowley played it. But anyway, we're not talking about that now. Shout out to them. I'm not mad. You're mad. But yeah, that is a cool storyline. And what is the line on that game? Remind me.
KJ filled it in here. It says 11.5.
11.5.
That's big. That's big. That's a big line.
It's been that way since the start. Can I give you a quick scouting report on Clemson, having overwatched that game 1.5 times?
Yep.
If Phil Maffa, Clemson's starting running back, is able to be healthy, he has a pretty severely beat up shoulder. He's a bruiser running back, 6'1"ish, 230.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a legitimate running back. He was going down with very little to no contact against SMU. It was very clear that he could be there, he could be a presence, he could pass block, but he was not himself. They had a backup, Haynes, who was very, very serviceable. Unfortunately for them, he got his knee tore up on the first kick return of the second half. And that's really what changed the slate of the game for SMU. That's why SMU was able to come back, because Clemson could not sustain a drive in the second half for that reason. If Phil Maffa's healthy, 11.5 is going to be a lot. Not because Clemson's going to win, but because Clemson's a smart enough team not to get beat just throwing the ball 3 times, 3 and out.
Yeah, I look at this game the same way I've looked at Texas these last several weeks. I mean, the defense is good enough to keep them in every game. As long as the offense and the running backs have had some fumble problems, Quinn Ewers has had some turnover problems. As long as they don't turn the ball over in their own territory, more than once-ish, Texas will be able to keep Clemson at a low-scoring game. It's going to come down to Quinn Ewers. I'm at a point where I have no idea what to expect from that dude anymore. I have no idea. He can look like, the Heisman winner one quarter, and then look like he's a true freshman the next quarter. It's been really frustrating to watch. I do think Texas has the overall talent edge by a pretty healthy margin. Klubnik's been playing his ass off this year, though. So if he's really in his bag, and if he has a little, motivational bump from, playing back at home, and got some teammates, some, former teammates out there that could really lift him a bit. But like I said, my opinion of Texas has been pretty steady for the last several weeks, and it's just which Quinn Ewers are we going to get? And I don't know the answer to that.
Agree. I think Klubnik is about to gamer his way this thing to like a one score game.
Yeah.
I kind of get that vibe.
I could absolutely see that happening. Yeah.
To where you finish that and you're like, okay, Texas definitely the better team. But like you kind of like tip your cap to Klubnik type game where you're like, that dude's he's a kind of a dog. Shout out to him. But yeah, like Clemson had no business being in this game, and they were.
Dabo, by the way, Dabo.
I like Dabo.
Dabo is dabbling with the portal a little bit, which is
times are changing.
I know. I think he's finally seeing the light a bit. No pun intended there. Yeah. He's
who else saw the light?
He's open to it now, so that's huge development. If I'm a Clemson fan, I'm like, fuck yeah. I mean,
that's scary.
The dude can coach some
that's
football.
Tremendous.
Yeah, the dude's obviously a hell of a coach. So if he can start adding some missing pieces every offseason, it's going to be really big for them.
TJ Parker, their DN number 3, I want to say it is. Maybe it's 11, but they've got a D tackle who's very, very good, and DN TJ Parker who caused that fumble against SMU in like the first drive. Watching him and Texas's lineman, whose name I can't recall, who just won the Outland Trophy.
Kelvin Banks.
That's going to be a fun matchup.
He's playing, right?
He's.
Oh yeah, I guess
he is. He missed last game. He says he is probably going to play.
I felt like that was underreported that he wasn't playing that game, and
yeah.
The Texas line did not have a ton of
he didn't play against
success
Georgia.
against Georgia.
First time hearing of it, and I feel like that's something that like any other position people would be headline. This player not in. So yeah, I missed that. So yeah, if he's playing, that's something to watch just from an entertainment standpoint, not so much from like a game change. Real quick before we do the last game, do you feel like you'd have a different opinion about how this was going to go if your first and second round potential matchups were flipped? Because I feel like with SMU, like Penn State seems like this big looming challenge. And then you got Boise State, who I don't think is getting enough respect. A lot of people think should have been in the first round. And if it were flipped, I wonder if people would be like, SMU should definitely beat Boise State, and then let's see what they do against Penn State. For y'all, you've got Arizona State second. Do you feel like that, if that were flipped, how confident like about getting to the Final Four would you be?
Yeah, I'm probably more concerned about Clemson than I am Arizona State, just because I always default to like which team is just overall more talented, and I feel like that's clearly Clemson. Knowing not a ton about the Arizona State roster, but obviously they had a great season. But yeah, I fear Clemson more than I do Arizona State. No offense.
You should. They also like as much as we rag on Dabo, like he's been there. That program's got a pedigree
He's a hell of a
now,
coach. There's no
and
doubt
like
about it.
he will have his guys ready. Whereas like,
Yeah.
Arizona State, this is new territory.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, Dabo will have those dudes ready
For sure.
And maybe the biggest game, I don't know, nationally, maybe Texas. I don't know what you'd say the biggest game nationally is because you got Notre Dame's brand, Texas around with a big team like Clemson. But then Tennessee, Ohio State, Blue Bloods, if you will, get to vie for the opportunity to play Oregon, which has a lot of people bitching because you got 3 big brands complaining that they've got to play each other, which like I'm not going to get on a ranking seating stand like soapbox here, but this is just a byproduct of that. Tennessee should be happy that they were able to sit pretty and be in this position. Ohio State should be happy that they didn't fall further. So yeah, you have any strong opinion about seeing Josh Heupel's neck in more than one round?
Go ball.
I think this is potentially the best defense that Ohio State has faced this season, especially up front. Tennessee has a really good defense, and Ohio State, we've seen it. It's been kind of the theme is that I don't know if it's been playing down to their competition, but their offense has not always looked elite. And so, yeah, I think they're going to have a hard time putting up like 30 against Tennessee, or maybe even 24 against Tennessee. That line is big, 7.5. I think I'm leaning Tennessee in the points there if I was a betting man. But I'm really interested to see. Of course, you got Big Ten SEC matchup, which is always a fun thing to see how that plays out. But Ohio State probably has the talent edge. But the defense of Tennessee is going to keep this thing pretty interesting, I think. I want to see how well they're able to move the ball on them.
That's where I'm at. Will Howard versus SEC defense, a good SEC defense.
Yeah, Will Howard's, like I've been saying it all season, he just doesn't do a whole lot to impress me. He's a good quarterback.
I definitely agree. I would have rather seen Shania instead of Lil Wayne at the Heisman Trophy ceremony. Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
Anyhow, that was doesn't impress me much joke, and I stumbled through it. Didn't execute well.
Also pretty late on it. That was conversation was like 15 minutes ago. I still enjoyed it.
No, but you said doesn't impress me much. So that was where we came back.
Okay,
with this.
you're right. My bad.
Again, it was bad. I can't fight for a bad joke here. Let me propose this. 10-point win by Tennessee. Handshake happens. Fox is heading out on the field. Ohio State's walking back to the locker room.
Oh, no.
Ryan Day's got his eyeliner kind of running, a little bit upset. Jack Sawyer's heading back to the locker room. And then out of the corner of your eye, you see Smokey, the mascot, trotting to the O in the middle of the field.
Oh, no.
And he raises a flag and starts to plant it. Saturday night in Columbus, does all hell break loose if Tennessee tries to plant a flag?
Talking about the dog?
Guarantee it.
Yeah, hell's going to break loose because that dog is going to be people. How's that
Smokey the
dog
mascot.
planting a flag?
Not the actual dog.
He lifts his leg
the
and
mascot.
just
That's what I was thinking.
Whatever.
and marks it.
Takes just a big old dump.
That's a cool dog, by the way. I love a hound dog.
That's a good dog.
Yeah, it's a good dog. But yeah, Ohio State will not take kindly
You
to
can't
that.
plant your flag in a playoff game.
No, I agree.
That I'm against playoff game flag planting because you're supposed to be there, and it's well, fuck. I was gonna say it's
Boise State rushed the field in a conference title game, and I thought that was a little bit weird.
I don't want to be old. I don't want to be old man.
upset.
I don't want to be old man yelling. I just feel like that. All right, we're in the playoffs now. We can leave the flags on the sideline. We don't have to January 6th it.
And then does Ryan Day get fired?
If he loses that game, I was going to bring that up. Like
10-point loss, like something embarrassing, not a close
No.
one possession.
Absolutely
Embarrassing loss.
I'm trying to think who would be out there. Like who is that? Okay, who do you replace Ryan Day with? I mean,
Chip Kelly. I'm kidding. You do not.
I mean, I guess you could have. It turns out Bill Belichick might have been there for the taking.
I guess that wasn't even on the rundown.
I just thought about that. Like, I don't know if he would have considered.
Well, we can get there in the portal, but yeah, I don't know.
No.
Common sense says no. You don't fire the guy who just because he. I mean, yes, you're right.
He's not going anywhere.
He cannot be. He's had a very, very tough time against Michigan.
He's a recruiting machine. He is his team always had. I mean, they're really, really good every year. Not being able to beat Michigan, while it is like a huge mark against them, is not enough to fire him yet. If he loses the next 3, let's have that conversation again.
How about did Mac Brown have a stretch like this against OU? Like this?
It wasn't as bad, but it was bad. Yeah,
Okay.
it was bad.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
was a part of the outro. Now that I think about it, that's a great comp. Although
It is a good comp.
Mac had a natty.
Matt got it, yeah, but I remember in college, like, of course, I was in San Marcos. There were dudes wearing firemacbrown.com t-shirts to class, and I just remember being like, "Really, that bad?"
Yeah, he struggled against Bob Stoops. Bob Stoops quite a bit.
Yeah. I don't know. This is. I've got a feeling this is going to be the most fun game of the 4, as far as like close. I don't really know where, and it obviously like the line reflects that, but comparatively, something I meant to bring up earlier is every time I'm like wanting to say something about a Notre Dame game or like pick it up for a pool, it blows my mind that they lost that fucking game at home to Northern Illinois. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
that happened.
I saw them play Florida State, if you recall. Their defense is really, really good. I just don't know enough about Indiana. I know their offense is legitimate from what everybody says. And so it's hard for me not to have the same empty, dumb takes that people have about SMU about Indiana in this matchup. But I can honestly say that I do believe in Marcus Freeman's defense and what they have going there and their run game. So yeah,
I feel like Indiana, if they get up early, that's your problem if you're Notre Dame, right? Is like
yeah, because they cannot throw.
Right.
Riley Leonard, for some reason, cannot throw.
yeah, it's kind of a that's their blueprint, getting up early and then maybe just sitting on the ball if that's even possible, which is what North Carolina did to Duncanville. Again, I paid $11 to watch that game. Great game. All right, good stuff. Anything else? Oh yeah, Belichick, UNC. That really happened after we joked about it off air.
That's crazy.
It's pretty wild.
It feels surreal to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess his son's going with him. The thought is maybe his son's next in line. This is like a son play, a future play.
Oh, is he still coaching in the NFL? His son?
He was with University of Washington this year.
Okay.
As their D coordinator. I have not confirmed future schedule, but I know SMU does not play them, so that's not where I'm going with this. But there's no reason that they wouldn't play Boston College within the next year or two. So Bill O'Brien and Bill Belichick playing
Let's go.
in college football, leading Boston College and North Carolina teams onto the field is going to be weird. I don't know who it was. Maybe it was Stephen A. or, one of the loud talking heads said, like, Bill Belichick better go hire some black coaches. Like, it's an asinine statement because he always has. Like, he's always been build the best team, best people around. Romeo Crennel was one of his coordinators for the longest. Like, I don't think anyone's ever accused him of not having a diverse staff. I understand what they're going for with that. Like, you're going to have Colorado recruiting against you. I was going to say something wild, problematic, and unnecessarily use the source of words, but you're going to be in a much different game when it comes to talking to kids of these youth if you're Bill Belichick. But I think Brent Bielema recently was quoted saying, like, I hadn't been in a high school, like a prospect's living room in years, like 2 years. It's like, that's not the game anymore. All they care about is how much they're getting paid. It's like, I don't think it matters what Bill Belichick does and doesn't say. He's bringing, unfortunately, like Michael Lombardi to be their GM. So, like, they'll figure it out. And I'm sure Belichick's more likely to get fucking Michael Jordan on the phone than Mac Brown was. No offense to Mac Brown, but, like, I imagine that call is a lot easier for him to make.
Yeah.
It was Keyshawn Johnson.
Okay.
Who said, and I don't have the full context, if he did say, like, in the past doesn't have a good record of diverse staff. I don't think I've ever heard that criticism of him. I might have missed
not
it.
at all.
But that's it. I just feel like what you just outlined is accurate. And, like, yes, NIL, like, what you could pay them is what's going to set you apart. But also, like, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to, like, high school kids, athletes, that they're going to be there's going to be a benefit to Bill Belichick being Bill Belichick in their living room.
You get an offer from Bill Belichick, like, that carries a lot of weight.
Sure.
Dude has, 8 Super Bowl rings? He had one with Cleveland, I think, didn't he, as a coordinator? Anyway, he's obviously a legendary coach.
Yeah.
That carries a lot of weight.
Just to protect from the one unnecessary online comment, he definitely did not get a Super Bowl ring in Cleveland, but the Giants is what you're thinking.
Thank
of,
you.
I think, or
he has 8.
Sadly to the dogs out there,
Cleveland.
out in Cleveland.
That was a stupid thing for me to say, wasn't it?
No, it's
lost Nick Chubb.
You're working on 4 hours of sleep.
How many rings does Bill Belichick have?
James
8.
Jameis super sneaky bad 2 weeks. Not even sneaky, just bad. You missed a lot of bad Jameis.
He's going to get delivered from all these interceptions by not being in a position to throw them.
6 with the Patriots and 2 with the Giants. So I apologize for a very stupid thing to say.
That's all right, dude. You've been in Dutchland. You've been amongst the Dutch.
That's right.
Hey, can I?
You want to hit quick portal talk, or you want to hit prize?
Can I hop in real quick because I just want to give a shout out to Prize Picks. Prize Picks. The best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks, the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. You can now win up to 200 times your money on Prize Picks. PrizePicks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Join now because this holiday season, PrizePicks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Pixmas. Merry Pixmas to you, Dylan.
And to all who celebrate.
To those who celebrate. How about this Josh Allen guy?
Pretty decent at football, Dave.
Give me the over on the Josh Allen action. Jared Goff for more than 230 yards passing. Yeah, Saquon Barkley for more than 1 touchdown. I'm liking it. PrizePicks is fun. You just got to pick more or less than, and you're in. Download the app today and use code DIP. That's DIP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today. Use code DIP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Check it out. We're huge fans. PrizePicks, run your game. Hey, I want to start portal talk real quick by just commenting at how well Ole Miss is navigating and the portal, and how they have just fleeced my Hogs, my Razorbacks. And I'd like to evidence this with some artificial intelligence created memes that have been hitting the TL. Randy, if you may throw it up there. Yeah, this has been like the highlight of my college football Twitter lately. People have just, they're really showcasing what Lane's doing. This is a picture, if you're not watching at home, of just, it's Lane holding a little pig. And of course, context here is he's just taking everybody. He's taking their players.
I've been paying attention. How much of Arkansas's cornbread has he taken so far?
It seems to be at least 2 or 3 recruits or players. At least
Texas got a linebacker from Arkansas the other day, a couple days ago.
I believe there's a tight end in there somewhere. Yeah,
says the 3rd Arkansas transfer to commit in the Rebels in the last 2 days. So at least 3.
Here he is with he saved the pig from the burning barn.
It's cute.
It's a metaphor,
right?
Here he is just handing a chest to an Arkansas Razorback player, assuming there's money in that chest.
Some kind of treasure for sure.
Yeah, and then this one is pretty self-explanatory. He's surrounded by pigs. He's apparently a pig farmer, and he's just got a wad of cash. This is fun.
On the beach.
On the beach. Oh, yeah, this is a good one, too. Yeah, so shout out to Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss, doing work in the portal, as they often do. I don't know. Any major portal surprises?
Yeah. Go ahead, Dylan.
No, I was just going to say OU's getting absolutely smoked in the portal, although it looks like they're about to get the quarterback from Washington State.
Saw that.
Since they hired away their offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. His name is Mateer. I forgot his first name, but he's a pretty
Put up
legit.
numbies.
Yeah, but they've had 6 receivers. 6 receivers hit the portal.
That's a lot.
They did retain their top receiver, though, Deion Burks, who's been injured most of the year. But yeah, they're getting cleaned out.
That doesn't shock me, I guess, when you really think about the issue at that key position. If you're a receiver, like I don't really know what's going to happen here, but I'm gonna take my chances elsewhere.
Like you're gonna get some change.
Yeah, LSU getting smoked too, early on, but yeah, portal time.
Couple notes. You're gonna see a ton of complaints. Led by James Franklin and amongst others. I'm going to pick on him for obvious reasons this week, but I don't think that he's wrong. News came yesterday or over the weekend that their number 2 quarterback or backup quarterback, can't recall his name, doesn't matter, is entering the portal and will not be remaining with the team. That second part's kind of important as SMU's backup quarterback, Preston Stone, is also in the portal, but will remain with the team throughout the playoffs. Ohio State had a player do the same thing.
Texas has a
enter
couple
the portal,
doing the same.
Remain with the team. Same thing with Texas. I think SMU has one guy who transferred in from Ohio State who's in the portal and then wasn't starting, hasn't been playing, so he's not. I don't think he's sticking around. Notre Dame is like flaunting that they have nobody in the portal that's leaving the team, at least at this time. So, like, good for you. But a lot of people are complaining about the timing of the portal. It does remain open for longer for players in the college football playoffs. I think you get another week or 2 after your team is out.
I think it's 5 days.
But so 5 days. But for the other players, it closes on the 28th.
Well, that's just to enter your name, I believe. And I think after that, you have like a month to choose a school. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. But for the most part, in terms of like whatever the upper crust of players might be in the portal, the ones who enter are going to be out of the portal like within a week or two.
Yeah.
And if you're in the portal for beyond a week, you're probably answering questions as to why that is. Whether it's you're going on a bunch of visits or there are more questions about you or you're asking for a ton, like the situation becomes a little more complex. So players on teams in the playoffs are a little bit disadvantaged to a small extent. Obviously, from a staff standpoint, like it does tax your staff a little bit that you got to host visits, entertain these conversations, prepare for games, blah, blah, blah. You're getting paid for it. You're getting $4 million for the first round, $8 million second round, and so on and so forth. So I think we're going to see more changes to the timing of the window shifting. I can't recall when this news came out. I said it was going to kill all the bowls that weren't already dead because of the 12-team playoff. I feel strongly about that. If they don't change it, you see what Marshall did. They lost their coach, and then they had 25 plus players in the portal afterwards. So they backed out of a bowl game. It's like, that's going to keep happening. If like the lack of people in the stands and TV numbers didn't kill bowls already, like this is going to be it for about half of the bowls.
Yeah. The portal system, as great as it is for so many reasons, has some definite glaring drawbacks to it. It's unfortunate. So many people hit the portal. I think it was head coach Tim Beck. I think he coaches for Coastal Carolina. He had a press conference recently, and he was like, I no longer build programs. I build teams. Because it's like, how good can I assemble a team each offseason because my good players leave. We can't pay them. It's unfortunate. It is.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
One last note. I had a brief heart attack as there was a portal announcement that shocked the hell out of me. It made me think maybe I missed something. Maybe I was under a rock. As SMU posted to their main IG yesterday, and it was like quick clips of all these talking heads. One guy to look out for the portal who's lighting up things in the ACC is Kevin Jennings, blah, blah, blah. Like clips throughout the year where these people were like paying attention to him, saying like, that's somebody you want to go after in the portal. They've got another quarterback. Maybe he'll be the guy that you can go get. It's small school, blah, blah, blah. And so SMU posted this whole like, no, I'm coming back, like montage with like his signature on it. And I think it's really was time to be like them starting their media campaign for like a Heisman run next year. You know, as he'll be in a position to be a returning quarterback on like a top 10 team and all that, blah, blah, blah. But they framed it as like I was considering the portal, but I'm back. And I'm like, I didn't hear anything about that. If that were the case, holy shit. We're in a weird, strange fucking place. Like, can you imagine if there was a rumor, like all of a sudden out of nowhere, Jalen Milroe declares for the NFL, but then Bama's got rumors that Ewers is going to come back for one more year and go there?
Yeah.
Like, that'd be wild.
You also see the unfortunate situation of programs that do pretty well in the portal. Obviously, those with pretty big NIL collectives they're having these like postseason meetings with the players, and they're like, "Hey, just so you know, man, like you're probably not going to be, anywhere on the depth chart next season. If you want to portal out, like we support that, just to make room for transfers in," which is a little shady, but I think it's pretty common in today's landscape.
They changed. So I still play college football 25 EA Sports game religiously. And in the Dynasty, like the week that they have it, like the title of that week is Encourage Transfers. Like you sign your high school class, you sign your portal class, and they call it Encourage Transfers.
Yeah.
Like that's how it's titled in the game. And in the way in practice it works now is like you just said, same conversation, but the way it is your scholarship's always been year to year, even before portal, is basically you can stay. You're just no longer going to be on scholarship.
You're going to have to pay for school now.
In whenever, if things do come to pass in a year or two, like this revenue sharing that starts in 2026 or whatever, there's going to be a player cap, like a number of players that you can have on the team, walk-ons or not, or non-scholarship or not, like 100 and some odd players. So like there's no longer going to be space for you here, whether or not you can pay your own way or not. Like So it's a wild, weird world we're going to, but is what it is.
Cool. Real quick, NFL. If y'all want to talk,
Yeah.
the good place to start is the Lions, who lose David
Damn.
Montgomery to an MCL. In addition to all the other injuries they've had,
And they're starting D tackle. I can't recall his name, but like
Carlton
they had 2 or
Davis,
3 people.
Khalil Dorsey. I mean, fucking
Of
Alex.
course, they
McNeil.
watched Aiden Hutchinson really
Aiden-
early.
Yeah, against the Cowboys. That sucks. That sucks. I mean, if there's one like team that's kind of built, or at least culture wise, to kind of real next man up mentality, right? It's probably a Dan Campbell team, but that's
tough.
That's tough, especially with Philly bucking. Seem to be peaking at the right time. Yeah, that is tough. And that game yesterday, Josh, that Bills Lions game was pretty nuts, but not as nuts as the Bengals Titans game. KJ.
Yeah. I did appreciate the side-by-side shot of the Buffalo Stadium. They're like, look at this weather in Buffalo, but we're in the stadium in Detroit. The Bengals and Titans played in Nashville. Who cares? It's the Titans. Again, who cares? One Mason Rudolph was playing for a bulk of this game. It was good to see him with the helmet on. Hadn't thought about him in a minute. But aside from one of the big highlights that you'll see of all the players dropping the ball before the goal line, I think Jonathan Taylor did it with the Colts. Jordan Battle did it, safety from the Bengals. Is this game had 10 turnovers and 27 penalties. The most in history.
Good grief.
And the game hit the over with 61 or 60, whatever I put in there, however many points, 64 points scored. Like an absolute clown show.
God.
Of turnovers and flags, but they kept scoring. Like usually when you get all those turnovers and flags, like you get a real low scoring, real shitty preseason game, but they still put up all these points. And somehow, if the Cowboys are in it, the Bengals are in it. 2 different scenarios, but still alive.
Did you see my boy Devondre Sweat pick up a fumble and take off with it? Talking like 375-pound Devondre Sweat, and put an O lineman on his ass with a stiff arm. It was so funny. That dude can move for a big guy. Hilarious.
So it's wild. Anytime you see like an NFL lineman, D-line, offensive line, whatever, in the open field, like all I can think of is just like pure business decision. Like, how do I not get on film protecting all of my body while like doing my job trying to tackle them? But at the same time, like, holy shit, these are absolute peak athletes. Look how fast and how like, how they can manipulate or you know what I mean, move on the field. It's just insane to see. Real quick, playoffs, since we've got a couple weeks, by the time we reconvene, it'll be essentially week 18 or playoffs. Temperature check, as the Cowboys are a little bit of a heater.
Mm-hmm. When they show the standings and they say in the hunt, the last team in there is the they do have the Cowboys in there, which is funny. It's like, man, if they didn't kind of blow that game against the Bengals, it's like,
that just means they're like not mathematically eliminated. Doesn't
in
mean
the
they're
hunt,
like
Dylan,
actually in the hunt. You know,
if you're not mathematically eliminated, you're in the hunt.
Technically speaking, that is a true statement.
Look, I watched the game. I am happy to see the defense playing good football. That's it. And Cooper Rush was good yesterday. That was probably his best game as a Cowboy from like an offense
against stiff competition.
Yeah. You're telling me the Panthers haven't played better the last three since Bryce Young came back? They have. That's facts. Did they not almost beat the Chiefs? Did they not almost beat the Texans?
KJ, you got pretty quiet over there, bud.
What I'm saying is accurate. You can't argue against it. It doesn't mean the Cowboys should have been a playoff team this year. I'm glad they're not. The idea of getting Cooper Rush. Look, I'm happy to see. I like Micah Parsons a lot. I was an advocate potentially for trading him at some point just because I was so over it. Like, just give us the picks. He's like the dude with heart. He's like the heart of the fucking
You
team.
can't let that guy go.
No,
Even though
can't.
you could get a truckload of
But
talent.
you know what you can do? Wait to the last possible minute and then sign him instead of getting it done a little bit earlier and maybe saving a little bit of money.
That's really
Do it the
smart.
way Jerry does it, and just wait. Wait till he's about to hold out, and then just dump the bag. Make him like the highest paid player of all time or something. Why not? Why
You're missing a step there. You're missing a step.
release like bad intel about him that might like a Walmart parking lot video or something like they did to Dez?
That, but also maybe wait for a catastrophic injury to occur to where there's some you think it's going to give you leverage in the
Great call.
negotiations, and you're still going to pay him.
That's a great call. Yeah, that's a great reference. Dylan, did you see Overshown? Did you see that bad news?
Oh,
I
man.
saw it.
I
I
didn't,
didn't-
want to go there with it.
Sorry, I meant to ask you about
I
it.
didn't see the play, but yeah, I saw the news.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm fucking crushed about it. Also, Jonathan Brooks, rookie running back
Mhm.
for the Panthers, also retore his ACL in his like third game back.
Oh no.
I know, dude. It happened on the same day.
Brutal.
I know. Hate it.
Yeah. Well, we wish them well. Real quick on the
We don't even really have to do the NBA because I have literally nothing to say about the NBA Cup game. You might, though.
no, I was gonna reference. Yeah, we do have the Bucks. Who we got?
Bucks Thunder.
Bucks Thunder. Thunder, best team in the league, probably Thunder Celtics. But I was watching the Mavs Warriors last night. Set a record for most threes in one game, 48, breaking a record that was set like last week. But last night was. I'm telling you, you don't really need to go rewatch the game, but just one of the craziest, like just both teams hitting everything, and it wasn't even the defense was just that bad. It was just shot making at its finest, and that was a fun ass game to watch. So shout out to them. All right, well,
I don't even want to do the whole like dynamic of NBA games, but we do have Christmas NFL next week with Chiefs Steelers. Who knows if Pat Mahomes will be there because he got hurt late yesterday.
oh yeah,
Chiefs Steelers, and then you have Ravens Texans. So 5 NBA games, and then those 2 bangers from the NFL.
okay, yeah. Assuming if Pat plays, which I don't, I thought my thought was he was going to miss a couple games, but whatever, we'll see about it. All right, let's run it back.
Run it back, of course, a segment during which we talk about what we already talked about. Dylan is goated just for being here. Thanks, KJ. Load that rollback card up, Hoss.
Mhm.
Cam Ward almost got rug pulled Hawk Tua style. Dave's kids have good eyebrows. And finally, KJ would have rather seen Shania Twain at the Heisman ceremony than Lil Wayne. Cosign.
Facts. Her in that horse trough and You're Still the One music video. I got work to do, fellas.
Bonus, it looks like Sacramento State will be hiring Mike Vick as their next head coach.
Oh,
Are you shitting me?
If you are to believe ESPN, then yes. I mean, no, I'm not shitting you.
Sacramento State?
You know what running back
Yes.
just came from there?
No?
Heisman, I don't know. Whatever. Scatabo.
Oh,
Just
really?
transferred
yeah.
from there last year.
Scatabo.
That's the program he left. Notable alumni from Sacramento State while we're here. Tom Hanks and Lester Holt.
Oh,
Very cool.
NIL, folks. NIL.
Very cool.
Tom Hanks and Lester Holt, a newsman. All right,
Just them and Mike Vick dropping a bag.
Let's
What
go.
the fuck?
let's go.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.